Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? This is Zombie Slayer coming at you with my very first YouTube video on a Magic the Gathering deck tech, which is my Esper control deck. So, this is my favorite deck I've played. This is my favorite color combination. I absolutely love Esper control. And it's my favorite deck to play in Modern, so this is my Modern Esper Control deck tech, so let's get started. So for the 2-drops we have 3 Anticipate. It is a 2-drop, 1 blue, 1 colorless. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the other 2 on the bottom. So it's just card advantage. Get some cards in your hand, get your win conditions. And, yeah, at instant speed too, so it's really nice. Next we have 2 Azorius Charms, so 1 blue, 1 white. Choose one. Creatures either get lifelink or you draw a card or put an attacking or blocking creature onto the top of their owner's library. So it's a really good card, very rounded out. It's good with Elspeth. Giving all your tokens lifelink, getting to draw a card at instant speed, it's pretty good, and the cards and the creature stall is also pretty amazing. So Azorius Charm's just a all-around good card. Next, for the 3-drop slots, we have 3 Murders, destroy target creature, double black, and 1 colorless. Then we have 3 Oblivion Ring, enters the battlefield, exile non-land permanent, and when it leaves the battlefield, it comes back under their owner's control, so it's just good removal, hits planeswalkers, hits big creatures, so it's just a good card. Then we have our counter spells, which are 2 Dissipate and 2 Cancel. Pretty self-explanatory, just counter spells, Dissipate, exiles them. Then we move on to Sphinx's Revelation. It's double blue and 1 white and X, for you gain X life and draw X cards, so this thing is just a card advantage monster. Just, the life swing can be very devastating. And being able to search out for your win conditions is very important. Sphinx's Revelation does that. Next, for the 4-drop slots, we have 2 Narset Transcended. She is a 4-cost, 1 blue, 1 white, 2 colorless, 6 loyalty planeswalker. Her +1 is look at the top card of your library. If it's a non-creature, non-land, you may add it to your hand. Her second ability, her -2, the next time you cast an instant or sorcery, it gains rebound. So it's nice. And her -9 is you get an emblem with your opponents can't cast non-creature spells. Basically, Narset is an answer to other control decks. Next, we have 2 Supreme Verdict. Double white, 1 blue, 1 colorless, can't be countered, destroys all creatures, just all around good card. For the 5-drop slots, we have 2 Murderous Cut, so it shares the same role as Murder, except it is 5 mana with Delve for destroy target creature, so you can use your graveyard, so you can use your already used up Anticipates, your used up kills and counter spells, one of your board sweeps, and you can just cast this for 1 black. So now we have 2 Jace Memory Adepts as one of our win conditions of the deck. It's 5 mana, double blue, 3 colorless for a 4 loyalty planeswalker with a +1. You draw a card, target opponent Target player sends the top card of his or her library to the graveyard, so it's really good. Get some card advantage. 0 cost is just target player sends the top 10 cards of his or her library to the graveyard, so milling 10 every turn is basically what you're going to do. And then -7, any amount target player draws 20 cards. So you never really get to the ultimate at all, because you're just going to use the 0 cost, and that's pretty much what's relevant with him. But I guess if you need an alternate out, you can start plussing him and then draw 20 cards. Hopefully draw an answer to whatever your opponent has. Next we have 2 Blood Baron of Viscopa, 1 black, 1 white, 3 colorless, for a 4/4 vampire with lifelink and protection from black and white. And whenever your opponents have 10 or less life and you have 30 or more life, it gets +6/+6 in flying. So this card is an absolute monster against mono white, black devotion, black white control, opposing esper decks, and the lifelink is very, very necessary to stem the bleeding from aggro decks and keep yourself alive long enough to get an answer to their deck, like a Supreme Verdict or a Walker or something. So this card is an absolute monster. And then we have, for the 6-drop slots, 2 Terminus, serves the same purpose as Supreme Verdict. 6 mana with a miracle cost of 1, put all creatures to the bottom of their owner's library. So 6 mana board sweep. Then for another win condition, we have 1 Elspeth Sun's Champion. 6 mana for 4 loyalty planeswalker +1 with a +1 that puts 3 soldiers onto the battlefield. So pumping out 3 creatures a turn is pretty devastating. It stems the bleeding from aggro. It overwhelms the game against control. It can help against mid-range strategies. Is with her -3 to blow up all creatures with power 4 or greater, and then her -7 is just an end-all. It just, you win the game if you ult Elspeth off. Then we have 1 Aetherling, 6 mana, 4/5 shapeshifter with several abilities. Has 1 blue to exile it and return it to its controller's field at the beginning of the next end step. 1 blue to make it unblockable, and then 1 colorless to either give it +1/-1 or -1/+1. So a 9/1 unblockable creature swinging in is absolutely devastating. It can dodge removal, it can hit in for a huge chunk of damage, and can pretty much end the game on its own if it's not dealt with. Then the last card in the deck is 1 Karn Liberated. So 7 colorless for a 6 loyalty planeswalker with a +4, target player exiles a card from their hand. -3, exile target permanent. And then a -14 to restart the game, leaving in exile all non-aura permanents exiled with Karn and put them onto the battlefield under your control as the game restarts. So he is an end-all. If you ultimate Karn, you've pretty much won. And then, so that's all the spells in the deck. That's a 33 spells in total. Now for the land base, we have 3 Isolated Chapels. Enters in tapped unless you control a swamp or in plains, and adds black and white to your mana pool. Drowned Catacomb adds black or blue, and Glacial Fortress adds blue and white. Next, we have 2 Nephalia Drown Yards as an alternate win condition. You just use the Drown Yard and you use Jace until they run out of cards in their library and you win. So, it's a decent card. Then we have 1 Arcane Sanctum for more color fixing. Enters tapped, adds all 3 of our colors to the mana pool. And then for the basics, we have 4 swamps, 5 islands, and 6 plains. So, I hope you enjoyed this deck tech. I really like this deck. This deck is fun to play. It's very competitive. It can win a lot of games. I've actually topped first at my local game store with this deck. And I really enjoy playing this deck, so if you enjoyed this deck, please leave a comment, rate, comment, subscribe, and this is Zombie Slayer 839 signing out. Peace.